What's going on, Malakis? VNNCC3 here, and in this video, I'll be going in depth on how you can improve your Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare clan boss damage. Unfortunately, I will not be going into the easy, normal, hard, or brutal clan bosses because, simply put, Scoobs, I just wouldn't have enough time in this video to do all that because this video is going to be fairly long as it is. So without further ado, let's just dive right into it, shall we? Let's start off with the absolute number one most asked question, and that is stats. So there's a lot of information being thrown out there, and a lot of it's just really inaccurate, and that's all I'm going to put it that way, okay? Let's just jump right into it, okay? Accuracy, speed, and primary stats, that's what I'm going to cover, because I'm not going to cover crit and all that stuff, because that's, well, just icing on the cake, and that's all I'm going to put there, okay? Let's start off with your accuracy. For your Nightmare Clan boss, you need a minimum of 190 accuracy. Now, people are going to say, you don't know what you're talking about, automatic dislike! Well, I'm telling you right now, Scoobs, I have tested the difference between 170 accuracy and 190 accuracy on that Nightmare Clan boss, and I'm telling you right now, it is a significant difference. I notice way more resist with the 170 accuracy, so the more, the merrier. That's the main point I'm trying to make here. The more accuracy, the better. And I'll put it into perspective for you. Every time one of your poisons, HP burns, weakens, decreased defense, get resisted by that boss, you instantly do less damage to that clan boss. That's all I'm going to say about that, all right? And then likewise, the opposite could be said. Every time one of your attack downs gets resisted by that boss, especially the Nightmare Clan boss, the Ultra Nightmare, I mean, they have the opportunity of going, you over there, come here, bitch, bow, and just molly-whopping your champion into oblivion, or your whole entire team. So I'm going to say about that, Scoobs. Attack down, very bad to get resisted, okay? Ultra Nightmare Clan boss, 240 is the minimum I would recommend because, well, even at 244, which is my lowest accuracy, I know, RNGesus is not very kind to me, and you're going to see that here in just a bit, but, you know, the 240 is the minimum I would recommend going into Ultra Nightmare Clan boss. The more the merrier, okay? 260 is what I would really say is the safe number, 270, but, you know, you do what you got to do, okay? 240 is the minimum I would recommend. Like I said, the more the merrier, okay? And, you know, the same things do get applied, but especially on that attack down, you absolutely need that on the Ultra Nightmare Clan boss because they hit so stupid hard. So I'm going to say about that, all right? Let's talk about speed. There are two setups I'm going to refer to, and that is counterattack setup and non-counterattack setup teams, okay? Don't get them confused. Let's start off with the non-counterattack teams. Your Nightmare Clan boss speed is a minimum of 171 speed with no maximum. You can have as much speed on that boss as you possibly want, okay? Why? Because you're not dependent on that counterattack to basically, you know, get hit and then boom, counterattack. You're not dependent on that. If you're dependent on a defense increase buff, then, you know, tone your speed down a little bit, okay? But that's nor here nor there. Usually teams without counterattack don't depend on other buffs to keep them alive, okay? The same thing could be said about your turn meter boost increase in your support tree. There's a couple of masteries out there that say, you know, 30% chance to give you 10% of your meter whenever your buffs fall off or when your debuffs fall off, right? And people are like, oh, yeah, that's so for me. And then they realize that they're doing so much more damage with it, and that's great. But I'll get to that here in a bit, okay? I don't want to confuse anybody. What I'm trying to say here is for your non-counterattack teams, you want champions like Apothecary, High Catan, or anybody else that can give you speed up increases or increase the speed of your overall team. That is exactly what you are going for, as much of it as you possibly can, because you don't care about the order in which your champions attack so much as you care about them just attacking way more than that clan boss. Now, the opposite is going to be said about a counterattack team. This is how everybody that I've seen gets it screwed up, basically. They care a lot about having Apothecary or High Catan or just somebody on their team that is going to up their speed or somehow, or their turn boost meter, right? Or their boost meter. They care more about that than actual mechanics. And here, let me go ahead and explain it to you, okay? Every time your champion takes an extra turn or takes a turn in general, their buffs and cooldowns all decrease by a turn. Stay with me now, okay? Because a lot of people are going to be like, you want to fight, buddy? You're an idiot. And I'm going to be like, no, all right, I don't want to fight. But every turn that your champion takes that basically happens is one turn off of your buffs and your cooldowns. Why is this important to mention? Well, because counterattack teams depend on that defense increase and that counterattack buff to be on your champions when that boss does his damage to you. Otherwise, what's going to happen is your teams are going to take too many turns out of sequence and out of sync, basically, and you're not going to be able to capitalize on that counterattack, let alone any of the other buffs your champions are giving. So I highly recommend, do not, under any circumstances, stack turn meter boost or extra speed on your champions. Anybody you notice right now that's doing a decent amount of damage on that clan boss, and I say decent, it's pretty decent, they have nobody that's actually boosting their speed on their team. And they have no turn boost meter. They have no boost meter of any sort. And this is what's allowing them to do that damage. I noticed instantly that I was doing a minimum of like 5 million more damage the moment I got rid of Apothecary on my team, the moment I respect my champion's masteries, to not care about the turn boost meter, right? I don't care about that so much anymore, because when my champions take, turns out of turn, basically, out of sync, I end up losing a champion, or that champion ends up doing less damage. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So there's going to be people that want to fight. There's going to be all kinds of controversy over that. But please trust my words. Hopefully you can understand that I know what I'm talking about, because simply put, I don't have 6-star legendary gear on all my champions with all of them having lifesteal, and I still pull off 17.5 million damage on average per key. Completely on auto. I could do more damage on manual. I really could. But this is completely on auto. That's all I'm going to say about that. The numbers don't lie. Check the number. 70 million.02 divide by 4. You're going to get 17.5, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that, all right? And so, yeah, turn your speed is really important to just nail down. For your Ultra Nightmare Clan boss, you want 191 to 210. That's your range limit. You don't really want to press too much more than that, because you got to remember, that boss has 190 speed. The moment you start getting 40 speed, 50 speed, 60 speed, more than that boss, you're taking additional turns before that boss will take their turn. So please don't forget that. Your buffs on your champion are extremely important, and that's probably the number one thing I see holding a lot of players back, is because they either stack too much speed or not enough speed. Accuracy is not usually their problem. It's usually speed is their problem. But that's besides the point, okay? If I don't want to go too into detail, because I don't want to get it too convoluted, because if I do, people, they have too many questions and they're like, this information's inaccurate, but they don't get what I'm trying to say here. So that's why I got everything kind of written out for you, okay, Scoobs? So let's talk about your stats. Forget about having a super high damage stat. So like Juliana, her main attack damage stat is attack. Stop trying to stack tons of crit on her. Stop trying to stack tons of attack gear on her, yada, 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 because you're actually hurting yourself in the long run. You want your attack stats to come in your substats. And I've used this same exact method all throughout my entire gameplay. And yes, I auto-farm Spider 20. Yes, I auto-farm all of the dungeons out there. And all the damage I do is completely on auto. And if you want proof, let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to make those videos, okay? And I've been doing it for a while now. But that's besides the point, okay? You want to focus on HP and focus on defense as the two primary stats as far as your well-being goes. Aside from speed and accuracy, your HP and your defense are the two primary stats you want to focus on, because the longer your champion lives, the more damage they will do. And somebody could always make that counterclaim as in like, oh, VNN, the more damage I do, block, I don't have to live nearly as long and I do more damage than you, block. I'm like, shut your mouth, Iago. Nobody wants to hear you, okay? HP and defense are the two big stats you always want to focus on, your primary stats for pretty much all your gear, except for like your banners and your boots, pretty much, okay? You know, it's a huge thing. A lot of people, their damage is getting completely nerfed because they try and stack, you know, crit gloves or crit percent gloves and all this other stuff, and they can't nearly do as much damage as I do on the clan boss because they're statted completely wrong. Or, you know, they can't clear dragon level 20 because they want crit percent on their gloves instead of having HP or defense, and or they're just now farming it because they farmed up all this other 6-star legendary gear. It's like you're basically saying, oh, more money? Let me just input more money. Let me just keep throwing money at the game, and that'll instantly make me better. Let's not try to learn the mechanics or try to learn why I'm not doing as much damage as I should. They care about spending more money than trying to learn how to get better at the game. That's all I'm going to say about that. And, well, I'm not going to beat a dead horse about the stats, guys. If you have more questions about them, let me know in the comment section, or add me on Discord. I'll put it in the comment section, my Discord tag. Feel free to talk to me. I'd be more than happy to look over your teams, by the way. If you've made it this far in the video, message me. Say, VNN, these are my champions. Who would you recommend me use? Yada, yada, yada. And I can give you guys a team. I have helped so many players out. I've either been on their accounts or I've looked at their champions and told them, use this, 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 and this. There's a reason why Yaga, right? Yaga is being used right now on Homeboy's account right here because he simply didn't have the accuracy on any of his champions to actually match what he should be having. That's all I'm going to say about that. Not going to be a dead horse. Let's get into champions and how you should stack them, okay? This is my team. Martyr, Bad Alcazar, Juliana, Steel Skull, and, well, Septimus. And I have them ordered, my bad, I have them ordered exactly the same exact order as they would line up in my sequence. So when I go attack the boss, my Juliana's at the very top, Bad Al's at the very top, my bad, Juliana's at the very right, she's my leader. The very top right is Bad Al, the very bottom right is Juliana, the very top left is Steel Skull, and the bottom left is Septimus. There's a reason why my champions are ordered in this particular order. It's because this is how they counterattack. Your counterattack teams always go as followed. Your first champion to counterattack is always going to be your leader. Then the top right, then the bottom right, then the top left, and the bottom left. Hopefully I didn't get that too confused with you guys. I'd put numbers on everything, but I don't want to confuse anybody, okay? Just remember that when you use a counterattack setup, the first champion to attack is your leader. The second champion to attack is your top right in this order. The second, or the third, I mean, is your bottom right. Your top left, and then your bottom left, okay? They always attack in this exact order, so it is very important to have all of your champions ordered a certain way. And let's talk about the stats, right? My Juliana right down over here has a 193 speed. She is the slowest champion on my team, so therefore she will attack last in the normal turn-taking order. Don't get it confused with counterattack order. You know, as far as the actual turn-taking order, she always attacks last. She is my counterattack champion. This only applies to people who are trying to use counterattack to their advantage. Again, if you don't use counterattack, the rest of this video isn't going to matter to you too terribly much. Have a nice day. It's been nice knowing you. Yada, 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 right? But if you do use counterattack in your order, then please stay with me, okay? So Martyr is the absolute slowest champion on my team. She will always, always, always go last on my team. Second person to go last is my, well, Septimus. He is the fourth champion I've got that goes last. His speed is 195. And then, after that, it's going to be Juliana, right? Juliana has 196 speed. And then after that, well, let's keep going. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Delete these, delete these, delete these. Where am I at here? Septimus, go bye-bye. Steel Skull, thank you very much. And Battle, thank you very much, okay? Steel Skull speed is 197, which means that he's going to go second in terms of my order. And Bad Alcazar is a 210 speed. It means he attacks first. Out of all my champions, he will always attack first. So, excuse me, here's what happens in the clan boss right here, right? Let me show you a pre-recording right there. Take this off. I know I'm kind of disorganized right now. Sorry about this, guys. So, she just got stunned, and you just saw right there, Bad Alcazar removed that. Let's look at that one more time. Right here, right? They all just got done counterattacking, right? Septimus is my last one to attack. The boss will attack my Martyr. Boom. Bad Alcazar is now turned to go. Now he uses his malice. Erases that stun. Very important to understand how your champions take their turns. I purposely put Bad Alcazar as the champion with the highest amount of speed because his malice ability directly lines up with the boss's stun ability, okay? And the boss will always stun your leader until one of your other champions has a certain amount of less HP. I don't know exactly that number. I wish I did, but I don't. So if all of your guys have 50,000 HP, let's just say it like that. If all of your champions have 50,000 HP, then the boss will always attack your leader first and then whoever else afterwards. But the moment one of your champions start to fall a little bit low on HP, they will always stun that one champion until they get back in line. In the pre-recording I've got, you'll see that the boss has actually attacked Juliana a couple of times until I used Steel Skull to heal Juliana, then he went back to stunning my Martyr. That's all I'm going to say about that. Hopefully I'm just not too terribly like, I don't know, man. I don't want to confuse anybody. That's the biggest thing. It's really hard to come off in a video so that you don't confuse people, okay? But like I said, Septimus, he's always the last one to go on my team. So that's why he's always going to go in the bottom left-hand side as far as the lineup goes. And you can see right here in the lineup itself, he's always the last one to go. So counterattack order is always Martyr, Bad Alcazar, Juliana, Steel Skull, and then Septimus is very last. The reason I have Septimus last is because, well, he extends buffs. This works for everybody's account, no matter who you are. Even if you don't have Bad Alcazar, even if you don't have Steel Skull or Juliana or anybody else that I have mentioned in this video, this all is extremely relevant to your account. 100% it is. Don't think that it's not because you don't own these champions. Having your champions take a certain attack order is extremely important unless you do not care about the counterattack. If you don't have a counterattack champion, like I said, this doesn't matter to you. And, you know, if it doesn't matter to you, then, well, you're not going to be here, okay? I'm kind of getting jumbled up here because I don't know. I keep thinking to myself this is going to be super confusing. But anyways, just pay attention to the way your order, the order of your champions, which way they go. Pay attention to your speed. Make sure the counterattack champion, the one that's placing the buff, always goes last on your entire team. If you have a champion that can cleanse that stun off that champion, then please give it to your champion. If you don't have a champion like Bad Alcazar to cleanse that stun, then my new leader would probably be something like Juliana or Septimus or, yeah, probably Juliana is probably who it would be, to be honest with you. But other than that, guys, look, like I said, I don't want to be too confusing, guys. I really don't. I already feel like I've already been too confusing as it is. Let's erase these. My border. I know, guys. I'm very disorganized. I've got in-laws in, all that good stuff. Sorry I haven't made a video in these last couple of days. This video is going to be super long. Hopefully you guys pass on the good information. But you know what I'm talking about, though, right? Love, peace, and chicken grease. Be safe. But above all, play WoW Classic. It's absolutely amazing. And, boop, stay classy.